already had such a fantastic month that I don't necessarily... I mean, obviously more support's always better and it helps make up for the slower months and stuff like that. But I figured that you guys have been so good to me this month that if you wanted to continue being awesome today, we just put it directly back into StarCraft. Like I say, new subscribers and stuff like that always helps us put on more content. Today, any support basically goes directly into new content. 100% of it goes directly towards some streams on Friday and a new tournament. So that's what we're aiming for as we go into this PvT. To the bottom right side of the map, our red Protoss player from Team Liquid. This is MaNa. Up against the blue Terran in the top left side of the map, we have ourselves Starcom's Cass. So welcome, guys. As Cass will open with the forward barracks to try and change things up a little bit here already. I mean, I say change things up. He obviously hasn't done anything yet. But it's yeah, it's just kind of, you know, for when MaNa scouts, you know, he's obviously going to be like, oh, well, but obviously he actually doesn't scout, which is funny enough because he just goes Cybercore first anyway. So a little bit of a safety play for MaNa. Instead of scouting, he just throws that Cybercore down, and it'll help to keep him just that little bit safer, of course. And we see another assimilator coming down here in the natural expansion as we see the Cybernetics core is also about to finish up. Reaper coming out the left-hand side. That rack's going to load up and head up the left as well. SCV comes over and going to start mining away on a few of those minerals. Getting that going. Obviously, Cass will be a little bit later to expand here because of the way that he opens. Does get himself a single probe, but only a single probe because that Reaper stuck around a little bit too long. That Stalker shot. Being able to pick that Reaper up, so Reaper getting taken down in the robot facility. On its way down in the main base as well. Getting that set up, manages with a nice strong response here to pretty much anything. It does open some aggressive options of his own. If he starts getting Immortals and a Prism out very quickly, you can get across the map and you can deal quite a bit of damage. So, setting up for that as well. Macfield Accelerator comes in on the factory, and the Cyclone still just building up. He is about halfway done at the moment. Robo is just ticking along. Waiting to see what MaNa goes into. Again, there is obviously a few different options, right? There's that choice of, you know, going in towards maybe a Prism right away. You get the Immortal up kind of fast. That sort of thing. Command Center is obviously going to finish soon. Generally, Immortal fast is pretty good anyways, because if these Cyclones get aggressive, your Immortal will do a lot to kind of push them back on the other side of the map. Odal just coming down. That Prism from MaNa on its way out. It's just going to be seeing the 2 extra gates again. It really does open up a lot of aggressive opportunity here. You lift up 2 Stalkers, a Sentry, and an Immortal. You go across the map. There's so much opportunity for damage. 2 Stalkers poke the Cyclones back, which is kind of nice, because if you want to keep this Immortal hidden, that definitely will maybe make it more of a surprise when it, you know, pushes across the map and tries to deal some damage. So that's something to potentially watch out for here. Shield Battery on the main, Shield Battery on the natural as well. A few Stalkers left at home, obviously wants something to be able to deal with the Cyclones if they do come in. The Cyclones just sort of patrolling around, looking to thinking about what might be coming the way of Cass at the moment. MaNa's follow-up to this is going to be a double forge, so yeah, you know, I'm still never going to agree with pros players who build their double forge on the edge of the base. You know what the first target is, if anything? Oh, Immortal has to drop off here to push those Cyclones away. The first thing anything is going to be targeted as soon as 2 drops come in this direction. These 2 forges, god damn it. Yeah, nice force fields. Prism will go down. after the Warpin, but picks up a Cyclone. I mean, a Prism Force Cyclone is definitely a resources lost advantage to MaNa, as he will chase and kill Cyclone number 2 as well. Without the Prism, though, it's hard to be more aggressive with this, so this stage probably just has to pull back. And already those units just heading back towards the natural expansion here instead. Third Nexus dropping down from MaNa as well, so getting that going as we see an Observer. Out into the center of the map is looking around to see what's going on. Command Center dropping in from Cass, so you can go straight towards the third CC and keep his economy rolling. So that's a very fast third CC before second and third rack. So really relying on these siege tanks and the count of those to really kind of stay defensive and to not let himself be broken by any sort of attack by MaNa, because again, his production is very low for this stage of the game. So really hoping that the defensive setup of the tanks can save that there. As we do see these few Marines coming forwards, the Observer gets taken down. Nice pick off there by Cass as well. +1 attack and +1 armor coming through. MaNa still setting up with this Colossus being chronoed as well. Another sentry warping in, and all of these units just starting to gather together as we see a few probes are going to pull down towards that third Nexus as well. Another robo facility coming into play too. Again, that Colossus is currently just on its way up. So Colossus coming into play now, as we're going to be seeing this Observer just coming along over and towards the main. Just see this army setting up. I feel like Cass maybe just saw that there, and that's why he almost kind of changed direction as he saw it, right? As though he was going to just wait and scan for it. He didn't have the energy, so he really could have maybe realized it was there. But he's going to deal with it later if he does know, as he wants to get across the map. So move it across, wants to figure out if he can get some damage done. Kairos is always a dangerous position with, tank on this side. Well, even Colossus, without extended thermal lance, won't be able to reach those. And that's why MaNa is perhaps trying to greet this before it actually gets into position. I mean, now he's going to unload the tanks on the high ground. Seeing that MaNa's army is forward, so he's going to just push it back. That's already MaNa buying some time, though. So extended thermal lance will be about to finish here shortly. And those tanks should really unsiege and come down to that low ground and set up on the position behind those rocks. So needs to get that going. This MaNa is still just hanging out to the right side. A couple of adept shading forwards, and there's the tanks starting to siege up. Those units of MaNa going to be kept back for a moment, as that Observer is just a little bit of a frustration right now, given vision of everything. As the Immortals are going to come forwards. Oh, I love the Adept. The Adept just absorbs some tank shots here, which is obviously huge. One Immortal goes very low, but doesn't even go down. So actually keeping the Immortal alive obviously keeps us in a brilliant little position. There's now 2 Adepts will come forwards and, well, try and see what they can do, but the answer is probably not really a lot. We're going to set up a couple of Widow Mines. And that is going to maybe be enough to allow the rest of the army to come in here. So MaNa is going to be able to push this back after that initial opening of Cass was unsuccessful. So, yeah, well, the killing of the tanks by the Immortals was great. The Adepts were actually better than I thought they were to set off those mines. And it all worked out in the end. What's up, Megadog1324? Thank you so much for the Twitch Prime sub. Thank you very much indeed. Getting some love in the chat for Megadog1324. Thank you, dude. Appreciate it. A few Vikings on the way out from Cass, as we do see another Liberator here just getting sieged up as well. There's a couple of Vikings coming forwards. Another Lib getting sieged too. Blink just being chronoed. I mean, we're about to have MaNa on 2-2 upgrades in the next few moments, so about to be on 2-2 as we see some Vikings continuing out. Cass is getting an answer to Colossus, but I mean, I just really am interested in how you deal with a 2-2 army like this one, right? I mean, it's going to be very difficult, and I guess you're going to rely heavily on Liberators and units that maybe don't rely on upgrades so much, but he only has 2 Liberators, so is Cass's plan just to sit back on 3 bases for an eternity, or is he somehow going to get enough units up to start moving towards the 4th base? It's kind of tough all around, really. Zart Stalkers, Sentries, Colossus. All up the left-hand side, we see a missile turret coming in at the front as well. A few of these barracks still setting up to the top, and yeah, Colossus just nibbling away at that Ghost Academy already. We're going to see a supply depot goes down. A couple of Zealots moving forward. A force field dropping into play as well. And here we go. I mean, MaNa... Yeah, I mean, maybe there's less here for MaNa than I really thought there was, as that's not a good time for anybody to be lagging. Yeah. So those Vikings get rid of the Colossus. 11 SCVs down because the Zealots on the third base. But MaNa loses a good chunk of his army. Gets away with the Immortals at least. And yes, mostly losing the Colossus is obviously a shame though, right? Losing a lot of what he has as splash damage, which against what is soon to be a very large Terran army because of the fact that third CC came down nice and quick and now the rest of the production is being set up. This could be a bit of a problem, and MaNa can't really make more Colossus because there's already enough Vikings in the sky. He didn't get rid of any of those in the last fight, so what do you build? Well, maybe rely on High Templar and Storm, because Storm is about to finish in the next few moments. Should about taking some damage, as you see, well, Colossus that comes out is just taken down instantly, so that's why you probably shouldn't go for that one. One EMP came down on a single High Templar. The other High Templar are good for the moment, though, and he's able to get rid of the Liberator that was sieging. So, great job there. As again, Zealots counterattack in. MaNa has this fourth base that he'd like to be able to defend, and so far he's doing a good job of it as the Vikings land. So, it's going to be another fight. The Immortals are blocking the Zealots in, though, and that means that the Zealots are not able to get in the front line very easily. They make it there eventually. I think the big thing is these Immortals are just not dying, right? Like, they are just going to stick around for what seems like an eternity. But now the Marines here as well, and well, maybe we're running out of Zealots. It's kind of crazy fights. Like, they are very close, back and forth situations. It's difficult to break through this sort of stuff. Few medevacs gathering up here as we see those couple of High Templar, not High Templar, those couple of Ghosts going to be used against the High Templar. Those EMPs are going to be so valuable here. As we see 4 Liberators on the way through. Dark Shrine coming up on the natural. MaNa just sending a few units up the top side here. I feel like MaNa thinks he should be like in control of this game maybe a bit more than he is. Stalkers come in, they get a Liberator right away. Marine taking a little bit of damage there. EMP just on the first High Templar. Important for MaNa to be... He wasn't actually split up with the High Templar then. He was just lucky that the EMP landed where the first one was and the other two were kind of just a bit behind. It would be really nice just to see those stay split up because, of course, one EMP taking away all your storms will be disastrous. We see the EMP there. Hits the sentry, otherwise kind of misses the markers. I feel Immortals are great to hit with that. Zealots are obviously great to hit with it, or High Templar too. That wasn't quite it, as we're going to be seeing still enough to push this back. Disruptors coming into play now. Saw those in production a little while. It will go as an alternative to the Colossus. I like it, obviously, because the Colossus weren't going anywhere with those Vikings still in the skies. Maybe could build up into some more Colossus now, but they have a long build time, and MaNa probably quite eager to just get this going. He's going to start pushing in, honestly. I mean, it's only really the Liberators that are kind of doing anything now, because there isn't much else left on the ground. And Immortals clean up, and Blinking Forward's going to get a couple more reinforcing units. Caster's going to GG out. MaNa has a little bit too much here, and so we'll be able to pick up game number 1 of this. Thank you so much for that Twitch Prime sub. You'll go on the tree after the game. Alright. Top left hand side, our red Protoss player. This is Team Liquid's MaNa. And in the lower right, we have ourselves the blue Terran from Starcom. It's Cass. Feels so dirty with being scammed. Feels bad, man. What are you going to do with that lack of a bit? I just love the fact that all of the 1 bits came in at the exact same time. It was like, boom. 1, 2, 3. Instantly. It was good. Shout out to you guys. Thank you. So it does work. It does work. Huh. MaNa here will see the lack of Arax. He does opt to scout on Parasite compared to on Kairos Junction, where he just went for the Cybercore before the Nexus anyways. So this time he goes Nexus then Cybercore, despite the fact he scouted the lack of Arax. And this is a Marine first, which means he's actually very quickly going to set up in towards a factory. And he's very quickly going to go in towards a setup here, Cass, where he can, well, basically go into a very aggressive push, proxying the racks and the factory. And seeing where this goes. Handyman with another bit. This one's for Shir Shadar. 1 bit at a time, guys. 1 bit at a time. We're slowly going to our goal. Slowly but surely. Single Marine is coming back home, actually, because this probe is starting to be a real nuisance. He actually lifts the barracks after building a tech lab, and it's just going to float it home. Interestingly enough, as the factory will drop down on the tech lab. Cyclone and Magfield Accelerator, so we're going to be, I mean, with the tech lab there, not much else it's really going to be most of the time, especially if the starport of the racks isn't remaining behind. Then, you know, siege tanks don't really do much on their own. It makes a lot of sense for it just to be cyclones, so... No shocks, as we do see the starport building up in the main base. The racks is, of course, flying home as well. And there's a supply depot coming down. Have I ordered my new microphone yet? No. What I'm going to do is I'm very soon going to probably order a whole new PC. Because I want to, when I move into my new studio back at home, I'm going to get a whole new setup, really plan it out, and really figure out what I want. I'm probably going to order my microphone headset with that. And try and do that, basically. That is the plan. We'll see if it works. Is that on the Stalker? Actually, find the tech lab here. This is really bad. Magfield Accelerator is going to die. And this is why opening with a Reaper is just so much better, right? Because the Reaper will keep these units busy. MaNa's had no reason to actually go and, well, keep his units at home because there's been nothing to keep his units at home. So this tech lab goes down, only one Cyclone comes out, and this is already just terrible for Cass. I mean, this so far has done absolutely nothing. Obviously, there's potential for it to maybe do something still with a follow-up elsewhere, but so far, MaNa is checking off all the boxes as to how he's taking a lead in this second game of the best of 3. Will there be a housewarming party for the new studio, and will it be broadcasted? Honestly, so here's what I've actually just been... I literally been discussing this today with a couple of players and stuff. I would really love in around March or April, not really sure just yet, but trying to figure it out. I was really thinking we try and do like a WardiTV offline event at my apartment. With like, just do something small, like 8 players, like €1,500 prize pool or something. Not small, like that's quite a lot of money obviously, so, but like small, in terms of an offline event, small. Everything just goes wrong for Cass, holy shit. Now his Banshee's going to be picked off. Stalker jumps in, chase. The Banshee's going to go down. Cass is just like, yeah, nothing is working in this game. Absolutely everything is going wrong. Stalker picked off as well. So yeah, I was actually asking a couple of players about maybe what they think if I was to do like an offline, like a WardiTV offline event at my apartment. And yeah, I really want to make it try and happen. So I guess my question to you guys is, MaNa comes into the main, I guess I'll hold my question for a moment as we see, well, you know, this Banshee with Cloak now, there isn't actually detection, but he's actually dodging the Banshee shots with the Warp Prism. So he's actually minimizing damage anyways. He just jumps in on the Cyclone. The Marines are going down as well, so it's really only the Banshee. I mean, if it's only the Banshee, eventually there's just going to be too many units here. And that Banshee will also run out of energy, so extra Stalkers will just start to get the kill on it. Jumping up and down, using the Warp Prism again to just dodge Banshee shots. GG from Cass. I mean, pretty much anything that could go wrong in this best of 3, game number 2, went wrong for Cass. Like,